Kim, can you hear me? Kim, can you hear me fine?
Yep, we hear you well.
Okay, great. David, Yashar, good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for joining. David was up since 5 a.m. already on the double hustle. Good to have you on the session. A few things about David. David, going 30 years in the business, right?
25 years.
Yeah. Okay. 25. Sorry.
Don't make it older, man.
30 years. I wasn't that off, right? Since 1995, focused on sale of retail mixed-use properties in mostly in Southern California. Not just, he's also doing out-of-state deals. And it says on your resume, David, Mr. Yashar has a work ethic and energy that enables him to produce results for clients. And he closed over 300 million, I think way more than that. I think he should put all caps energy, because people don't even understand your level of energy.
That's why you got me on my workload.
There you go.
But we'll talk about that later.
Hey, so here's a question for you. And first of all, thank you for making the time to join. You're an amazing inspiration in your work ethic, and of course, you what we call a MREA agent, right? An agent that produces over $1 million in gross commission. You've been in this for quite some time. Your passion, your dedication, your commitment. Tell us about today who David Yashar is. What do you focus on, and what's more about you to begin with?
Good morning, everyone. Manny, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. I've been doing this for approximately 25 years, plus or minus 6 months. And I focus on retail properties, as Manny mentioned, retail, single tenant, mixed use, retail office, single tenant properties. Earlier this year, we've kind of done 4 back-to-back single tenant properties. And of course, they've been in Chicago, Illinois. Other than that, the day starts with using the phone, and the day ends with using the phone. And I think this business, a lot of it has to do with just being on the phone and just communicating, and that's really the business. If you don't like to use the phone, you're not in the communication business or the people business. I mean, really, I apologize for saying this, but this is not your business. I love what I do. As Manny mentioned, I'm passionate. Even if I go out of town, I do a lot of traveling. Manny knows. I'm still, attending the business. Of course, you take a little break here, break there. But I'm not the type that when I go on a vacation for a week or 5 days or 2 weeks and I shut down my phone. I'm still communicating, via text, via email, especially with my team, which we'll get into as well. But just a daily basis, I'm starting the day, maybe do some miscellaneous, have breakfast, 2 cups of coffee minimum, sometimes 3. So, at least, exactly. Just, hit it hard. And, I'm just communicating, whether I'm at home, I'm in the car, the phone better work. Otherwise, I am not a happy camper. The mover and shaker, I guess you can say that. And again, my team consists of and I'll get into that now if that's okay. Myself, there's 2 guys that have been with me for approximately, one guy about 7 years, another guy about 6 years, both licensed, great guys. We get along very well. They know the expectation, and I know them. And we've been working even at my old office before coming to KW. We've been together for 7 years with one, 6 years another. I started, just to back it up a little bit, I started in 1995. Was at Marcus Miller Chap. I was there for about 11 years, and after that, I moved to Remax for about 8 years, and then the last 7 years here at KW. And I got to tell you, this group
I put my hand in
with
front of
Mehdi kind of heading out for the last year or so, I mean, it's just been nothing but great. And so
Is that better?
our again, my focus, as I mentioned, is retail properties. We are controlling inventory. I'm not chasing any buyers. We're just constantly bringing inventory in. And sometimes we're taking new listings, 5 listings a month. Sometimes we take 1 listing a month. So it kind of, it varies. Price point, just touch on that. It could be anywhere, and I don't discriminate. I do not discriminate. It could be anywhere from, I've done as small as, an REO, $80,000, and it's been right now we're actively promoting or marketing a property that's $12 million. So just that where the client takes you, and of course the motivation. That's really what is the key here. Motivation, and you don't create it, but if the client motivated, I mean, what is the reason they're selling, and do we take it on or not? We're constantly playing poker, but part of the success is just making sure you're working with people that are motivated, and they're looking to sell, and what is the reason for the sell. So that's that.
Yeah. One question for you, and by the way, I apologize. Can someone put in the chat? Do you see the screen, David's side, blurry, or is it crisp and clear and all good? I just want to get just one comment, just make sure that you see it fine.
Clear.
Because it's clear in my end. Don't say anything, just start with the chat. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So David, here's a question for you, right? Because I want people to understand way before the mechanism and how you do business today, right? Is how you evolve into real estate. You were born in a different country, right?
I was born, that's right. I was born in Iran. So, and it's funny, it's actually 40 years. It'll be in 2 weeks exactly. It's 40 years ago when I left Iran. Wow. And I was, well, we're gonna get to my age now. Now that you hit it like that, man, I don't know, but that's fine.
43.
Sorry?
I'm just go ahead.
So I was 11 when I left, and that was September of 1980.
Wow.
We were actually, it's funny, it was the last flight. We were the last flight that left Iran, and that is when Iraq threw the bomb in the air, in the airport. For you guys, whoever's Iranian or knows the history, and that's when the Iran-Iraq war started. So when we left, we were kind of the last flight, and just it's always every day. I think back. I say, I owe it all to my mom, dad, and we're so blessed. We are so blessed, especially a lot of the people from all over the world, but the Iranians, the ones that had the opportunity to leave, and they're here, and so on. So about 40 years ago, I left Iran. No English, or just a little bit, very limited, and I remember starting 5th grade. And it's funny, I just dropped off my kids. My older son, Landon, he's at 5th grade. So I keep thinking, like, my God, I can't believe it. I'm married, got 2 kids, 2 boys, and here's my older son, just like I started when I got, like left Iran.
Yes.
And it's just, I tell you, it's been amazing. And, I just thank God every day for, what I have, where I'm at, and, I just go forward, live it.
So, and the reason I'm asking, because, sometimes we take, things for granted, or success for granted, or whatever experience. So how did you, when, and how did you evolve into real estate?
So it's funny, we'll fast pace it. You did the, high school, went to college. I graduated from Cal State Northridge, and from it was like a career day. And a lady came in, and she said, "Look, you know what? I have a great company. we're doing loans and we're doing real estate. And I said, great, Liberty Investments. So when I graduated, I joined her team, and it was only her and I and nobody else. And I was like looking forward to 20, 30 people. So I joined her, and it was here in Westwood, California. And that lasted about roughly 4 months. And I was just doing loans. And I ended up doing, I think, 2 refinances. We got into a little, argument. And, she always said, look, I'm going to make sure you're going to get your Porsche, this, that. It lasted a few months. And then from there, I interviewed with another company, which is very funny, right across from this office. And it was Grand Financial. And I promised myself not to work. I apologize, not to discriminate. I promised not to work with another Iranian, even if they want to pay me $1 million. But this guy, he said, hey, listen, my name is Charles, and come in for an interview. And Charles, actually, his real name was Shokurla. We hit it off. He was a nice guy. It was a company of roughly 15 guys, Grand Financial. That lasted about a year and a half. And because of that gentleman, I got into commercial real estate. He said, David, I'm going to be leaving here. I'm going to retire. He's an older gentleman. He says, look, I really want the best for you. You're like my son. I think you should get into, commercial real estate. And I said, okay, why not? Let's go. Let's give it a try. I interviewed with Marcus Millichap, and I joined them in 1995. And I remember at that time I had to go training, and the training was where? Newport Beach. So for 2 weeks while I was buying my first condo here, very close by, and remodeling, I had to deal with the drive, do an interview. Anyway, I joined Marcus Millichap, and I was there for about 11 years. The business was like the first year I was a junior to an agent that was doing retail. We were together for about a year and a half. And then after that, I, went on my own, and I never looked back. And I think it was the second or third year in business. I had somebody to come in, kind of assist with the day-to-day. I tell you, since the third year or the second or third year in the business, I hope you don't disconnect, guys. I never did a purchase agreement. I never did a counter offer. I never did a listing agreement. These are all things that I allocate. This is the business. Remember, when you grow, you got to remember, you're going to be allocating. You're not going to be doing everything and anything. My job, is to be on the phone, which I love. My job is to, sit down with people face to face. Remember, we're in a people business. We're not there to answering emails. I love people when they say, you know what, I'm going to send you an email. Make sure you send it. I said, listen, I do all my emails. Man, he knows what I'm talking about. Kim, I do all my emails at about 11 p.m. till 2 a.m. Do not tell me go look at an email. My job during the day is to be speaking with people and to bring in new business. If it's something urgent, sure.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, and I want to focus on that for a second, because that's definitely a big strength of yours, right? When did you realize, how soon, that, hey, this is what I'm good at, that's what I want to focus on, and I'm not willing to compromise?
I would say, excuse me, I would say probably, year 5, year 6. It's just, I know I get people, I get people coming in, and they always try to steer you this way and that way. But I think roughly about 4th year or 5th year in the business, you learn. And once you know you're making money, you're doing the right thing. And you're just, look, you want to continue the course and be consistent. And always, and I tell you, 25 years in the business, always find a way to better my position. Always take it one step higher. I push myself. It's like, okay, I made this many calls. Let me do 5 more calls. I was going through Crexy. We all use Crexy. So I subscribe to it, and I have a lot of people that, you know, they inquire about property. So I was going back to the history of Crexie from 2019, and with one of our, you know, agents on my team, Mariana, I said, listen, we're going to sit down here 6 o'clock. We're going to go till 7 o'clock. We're going to go from June 2019 to December 2019. We're going to hit every one of these guys until we're done. I don't care if it's 6:55. I don't care if it's at 7:15 p.m. Are you good with that? Just let's go. And that's it, you know? That's just, you know, that's the mentality, you know, that's the way it has to be. Now, also, you know, I don't want to go, but one of the things that's very important for me is that I work out every day. Okay, so every day I'm working out, half an hour, 1 hour, 45 minutes. I swim every other day, rollerblade on the weekends, and work out and swim. I think a lot of it has to do, and again, to train yourself. You work, you know, you work hard, you play hard, but you also have to take care of yourself. Okay, and you know, one thing that's extremely important for me, and Manny knows this, and I always run it by him. I said, let's go here, let's go there. Every month, I got to go someplace, okay? Whether I'm going to Greece, I'm going to Chicago, I'm going, for example, to Jamaica. We just booked it yesterday. Many, I don't know, I have to run it by you if you want to join us. That's the way it is, okay? I close the deal. I'm doing something, I'm going out of town. Now, my wife doesn't like it. She yells and, you know, screams, and are we doing another vacation? Enough. You know, I get you know, the phone sometimes is being hung up on me. She doesn't want to do any more vacations.
So one second, because I want to ask you more about that life and work balance. You're hardcore in all categories for sure. But back to that daily hustle, right? You wake up with a hunger to conquer, right? To claim your fair share. If you had to assess between you and your team, how many people do you reach out every day, approximately?
Anywhere from, I mean, I'm just taking it, yes. I never look at how many people I've hit and I write it down.
Sure,
but
okay.
You know, 50, 60, you know, minimum.
Which is a lot, right? I mean, the average, and look, most of the crowd that's watching us right now, and whoever's going to watch the recording, is the majority are residential agents, right? So it definitely, in the commercial world, and that's what I'm trying to convey, is the discipline to go after the business is a bit different, because you know, you can't really or traditionally door knock, right, or do things that in resi we do. So like, how do you capture that the business between you primarily and the team, and like what is the hunger? Where's the hunger come from?
So actually, the door knocking, let's talk about that. So this is exactly what we did yesterday, okay? And you guys in commercial guys don't do it. You know, we're basically calling, but sometimes, you know what, the phone is incorrect. And by mail, you don't got to them. So, and again, this is one of our team members. I said, listen, Ariana, we're gonna go there, you know, to this guy's place. Now, we did that and it worked. And what's funny is the very first time when we get together with a guy like that, he says, look, I appreciate you stopping by, and he invites us, you know, in. We start talking about trips. I just got back from Guadalajara. This guy's from Guadalajara, Mexico. I talk about tequila. I talk about chapala. Oh my God. And I had to go pick up my kids. I said, Ernesto, you know, I mean, in a very nice way. I mean, we hit it off. I said, I love you, man. And I will make another date and we'll get back to you. And you know what? Sometimes it works that way. And sometimes they say, hey, you know what? The guy's not here. Leave your card. But the door knocking, you might laugh. It works in commercial too. And that's, again, when the phone doesn't work, you're not getting through by mail. One thing I learned in school, okay? And I'll never forget. My instructor at CSUN, OSPE 305, that was the class. He's Dr. Manos. He said, listen, the best way to communicate is face-to-face. Second best, phone call. Third, by writing a letter. We all prefer to meet people face-to-face. Okay, if that doesn't work, then it's phone, and then of course, you know, you're writing them a letter or email. Okay. but you gotta sometimes do the old-fashioned way, all right? When I'm putting deals together, people like, you're crazy. So what I do is sometimes I put the buyer and the seller together.
Right.
You know, when you do that, 9 out of 10, in commercial for me, 9 out of 10 times, good things have happened. You know, we have a listing right now, by the way. I mean, I don't know, Sammy, you're behind me, you may not know. So here's one of our wonderful agents here. So we have a listing together. And you know, the buyer says, look, I want to sit down with the seller. We send a text to the seller and he says, sure, give me some time options. So and this is not a $12 million listing, right?
Right.
You don't do that. But that's what I like. That's what I believe in. And when we get people together face to face, 9 out of 10 times, good things happen. So guys, if you have an opportunity to put the principles together, don't get nervous. Don't worry. There won't be any fist fight. You know what? At the end, it might be loves and love, hugs, and kisses. That's kind of some of the thing I can kind of pass on.
Yeah, that's gold right there. Because first of all, it's like it's like old school practice, right? Like that's how it used to be primarily, and because that's how you avoid the disconnect. When you can do it, it's definitely something that it could it can resolve a lot of issues and assumptions and what have you, right? So fast forward once again to that hardcore life and balance, and actually today you're going to another trip, right?
Yes. After that, we started by dropping the kids. I'm here. After this, I'll grab coffee. I haven't had one, but I'm just, and then I'll go work out, go change, pack. I'm flying out to Salt Lake City. Never gone there because usually I do about 8 to 10 ski trips a year. But I purchased a condo there in Park City, Utah. And, I always wanted to go there, summer, for rafting, zip lining, biking. So I said, you know what the hell, let's just go there, try it in the summertime. Unfortunately, there's fires out there and I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll just, we'll make the best out of it. But yeah, I'm going out there for the weekend and I'll be back Sunday night. Yeah, that's what's happening. So, I'm the type, I don't waste a minute, good or bad.
Yeah.
And while I'm going from point A to point B, I'm on, Bluetooth, everybody's in, they got the car phone or Bluetooth, you're making calls, man, you're dialing for dollars. That's the way it goes. Now, in the middle of all this, we got 13 listings, we got 6 escrows, we have this counter to go out. One of the thing, and I tell you, communication with your team is the key. So whether it's Omid, Eric, Mariana, whoever, Sam, that does not stop. Whether I'm here, I'm across, I don't know where, I'm communicating. We're sending each other probably 200 texts, I don't know, 100 emails. And again, the emails, I try my best to do it at nighttime. But the communication is nonstop, especially with your team, especially when there's offers, counter offers going out. So while I'm going from point A to B, or I'm going from here to the gym, I'm communicating with the team. I'm doing my workout, I'm doing my, my bike for 20 minutes. Okay, I'll go through, let's say 15, 20 emails. I'll flash out 20 emails, no way. But, I'm the type, I don't waste a minute. That's just the way it is. Every hour for me is like $750 an hour, $550 an hour. And I really recommend all of you guys, for ones that are listening,
Love it.
Just like an attorney, your time is valuable. Don't waste it. Don't let people waste your time, and that's the way it goes. That's the way I live it.
That's a great advice as well. Just you look at time exchange of value as well, which explains a lot about how your tenacity, right? Drive and your hunger, and you always stay on top of your game. What would you say to agents that right now focusing mostly on residential, or those are in commercial, right? Like how which also brought you success, right? In whatever speed. But some agents, they start their career and they're like, what should I focus on, right? And they're not sure, they're not certain, a bit confused. It takes time. Maybe you have a niche of clientele, maybe you don't, right? What's your recommendation be to those who are starting or in the middle of things and just trying to get into that next level in matter of focus on one thing that they're supposed to do?
Specialization. We here in California and Los Angeles, we're blessed because we have healthy demographics. We can pick and choose what we want to do. If you like retail, and I picked retail when I started, and I'll never forget, my first 6 months into the business, I was going around taking pictures of corner shopping centers, and I had a quadrant, okay? So I had a map. I picked out 2 miles north, 2 miles south, 2 miles west, 2 miles east, and I just hit it hard. And what I did back then, it wasn't the phone, take a picture and all that. I was actually taking camera, take a picture, take it to the photo place, print it, and it was at my expense, right? Okay, I would slap those pictures, glue it on a piece of paper, do my research at the end of the day, and I would call that client, hey, Mr. Jones, what's happening? What are your plans with the property? That's what I would recommend. Anyone that, and again, if you like retail, just hit retail, stick with it. And one of the reasons I picked retail is because I said, look, one day I want to be involved, which I am today as an owner, So I'm involved in a Starbucks. I'm involved with, let's say Wendy's. I'm involved in that corner strip center that, I was taking a picture. And that was one of my goals too, that, this business, you get to a point, why not get involved? And I have, you know what I mean? I have a partner here, I have a partner there. And that's another subject, but I picked retail because it was just I love that corner shopping center. I have a 7-Eleven, and I have the donut shop, I have the laundromat, I have the liquor store, and that was the focus. That was the focus because those guys, and even during COVID, no COVID, remember, they are the ones that are doing well. The laundromats, the 7-Elevens, you know what I mean? Food, necessity, business. There's business invested in that, in that property. Laundromat. You want to go start a laundromat? You're spending what? Anywhere for plumbing and everything is somewhere between $700 to $1 million, depending on size. So that was kind of like my mentality. That was the focus, and I wanted to just hit that kind of product. So if retail it is, great. If it's apartments, but remember, focus, and just pick an area and hit it hard. Start with 2 miles, then take it to 5 miles. Don't cover 20 miles and be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do that. Start small, then you can always expand and pick, what you like.
I love it. So your message is, first of all, be in the game, right? Residential, commercial, whatever you're doing. Also
passionate,
become a principal, become an investor, which clearly, whoever is dealing with you, whoever knows you or will get to know you, you're very involved, and you're talking from your own experience, which is, it's a massive difference, right? It makes you a real, high level consultant. And the second message is, just have a narrow focus and just keep doing the same thing, and then you're gonna build that success around you.
Just hit it hard. And again, I have 2 guys in the team that are doing apartments. So you see my name with apartments, but personally, my passion, my focus is just retail, mixed use, maybe retail, apartments on top. And we've done land. Land for development. We're in escrow right now in a deal in Compton, California, and it's 51,500 square feet, just over an acre. And it's zone retail. They're going to do retail. So, that's kind of what I like to focus on.
So David, if anybody has questions for you, want to reach out and connect with you, what's the best way to do that?
Cell phone, call me, text me. Look, guys, sometimes I'm 24/7. As I mentioned to you, I do emails 11 p.m., all the way up to sometimes 2 a.m. Don't laugh. I just, I got to go through all the emails. And one of the beauty when I do all these emails at that time is when I send out an email, I don't get a reply back. So I flush it out, then it goes to the next day. Don't take it personal, but no, feel free to give me a call. My cell number is, 310-710-5626. Call me, text me. That would be the quickest way. I promise to get back to you. Manny knows, everybody that knows me, I mean, I'm the type that, no call, no message is just gonna be ignored. I will get back to you. So it'll be my pleasure to speak with anyone and in any way I can help. Please.
David, last question. We're going a little bit over time, and thanks everybody for still staying over here. Last question is retail, right? Got somewhat of a big hit during pandemic, or mostly like office, buildings, etc. Retail to a certain extent. What do you predict retail to look like in the next few years ahead?
I think if you've got the right location, you got those, major corners, and, your locations like, let's say, we'll take Westwood for, if you have Google to the south, you have the Metro line coming in here in the next 5-6 years. Even though you see vacancies right now, I think it will definitely bounce back. So if I'm promoting our deal on Westwood Boulevard for $12 million, and if the guy tells me, well, there's a lot of vacancy here, there's vacancy there, I'm like, look, you are buying the property knowing that the future is only going to go up. So it's all about location. That's the key, when we go to retail, okay? Sure. Location. How many times have you heard that? So I'm looking, if I had to predict, I would say, look, if you got the right location, and there's something going on in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whether it's a metro line, there's a hospital coming in, there's a bunch of apartments being built, you have to look at that. You have to see what's happening in the immediate area. That's kind of the, somewhat of the key. And, I think that the tenants, like I mentioned earlier, the 7-Elevens, your 99 cents only, your Starbucks, we see a bunch of them, but look, we're doing a deal with Starbucks that the current rent at a location in South Central LA is only $8,000. Starbucks is coming in, want to pay $21,000 a month. Why? Because you got the location. Put aside, it's going to take 3 years to put a deal together, okay? And I'm going to have more white hair and everything in between. But what I'm getting at is, you got the right location, people are coming after you. Whether it's Starbucks, it's XYZ, Wendy's, whatever it is. So
it's a cycle. Yeah, that's a good advice.
The right location, those corners, that's absolutely the way to go.
Yeah. And feel free, you have David's info, if you have any, as residential, right, whoever's watching, we don't, practice commercial. That's where we have the commercial experts, right? It's a niche, it's a specialty. So feel free to reach out to David if you have some kind of a lead, a client, whatever it is. So, people like David in our group, we have a very strong commercial group between the offices where he can be the guy, the specialist that can help you with that need, buyer, seller, etc. So
100%. And I'll just say, like right now, we're working with 3 guys. One of the guys from Calabasas, Ronan, what a sweetheart of a guy. We have a listing with him right now. We have another agent outside of KW. We've done many deals with a lot of the residential guys. So to all of you out there, again, if it's something that, you're like, I am not sure, and it's, again, commercial, please feel free. We're here for you, whether you want to do it together, you want to do it as a referral. Look, stick with what you do best. Because if it comes to me and somebody says, listen, I have a house in the valley, guess what? I'm going to go to Manny and say, Manny, who's the person I'm going to reach out to? And I don't know if you want to use this as an example. So what's the lady's name? I forgot her name. She does the morning 7 a.m. She's going to kill me if I. Who's the one that we just did a deal with?
Sharon.
Michelle Brown. I don't know if she's online. If she is, don't kill me. I apologize. But
She's
it's a
awesome.
perfect example. We did a deal, you know, I referred somebody to her, you know,
Yeah.
let her run with it. She made a nice check. I had a nice referral. And the loan, you know, the person that did the loan was mother-in-law. She loved her. And it was like, you know, match in heaven, whatever you want to call it. And
That's what I
that's what this, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but Manny, you can add this, but that's what this is about. You know,
Yep.
if you're at KW, you know, and in companies like this, you have that ability to do things like this. So you know, and you know, that was fantastic the way it was handled, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
feel
a-
free,
that's a great-
anytime, anything in the commercial, I'm here for you. Call me, text me.
Great example. David Yashar, commercial giant. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate all the insight and the wisdom. And keep it up, my friend. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your vacation. Bye. Thanks everybody for being here, staying that long. I appreciate it.
What up, babe? Are we off?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.